Good morning, people, and welcome to yet another gorgeous spring morning, and to yet another gorgeous Jules repairs episode. On today's agenda, the spring frolic indeed continues with this, which is, of course, as most eagle-eyed of you viewers already recognize, it's the old female bicycle. Fairly simple, no gears, no fancy hand brakes, just steel frame, some wheels and this watchmaker which turns the wheels. And the problem here, you can see more clearly when I flip this over, sort of the back wheel goes like this, you can see now when you turn it. And how they meant that, we can find in these tiny iron things that hold the rear rim together. There are edges here on these ends, watchmakers, anyway. And by turning those edges, by tightening others and loosening others, you can adjust the rim and indeed the wheel itself. So we are trying to do that, and then we obviously wanna tighten the chain itself because it is very loose indeed. I'm not certain if I'm able to, because there seems to be very limited space to tighten it. It's already as tight as it can go, so I suppose I have to take the piece off it. And well, it's not hard job, but it's just messy business, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. But let's focus, first things first, the rim. I'm gonna adjust this a little bit more so I can see more clearly. Let's see if I can turn it. And what we need here, of course, is a wrench. Very tiny one. You can buy from the bike shops and what have you the correct tools for the job. It's not that bad that I remembered. I seem to remember that it was a hell of a lot worse. Tighten these ones and loosen these ones. That should perhaps do the trick. Like I said, you can buy the correct tool for the job, but since I don't have it, I'm gonna use this small. Let's see whether if it works or not. Is this broken or? This bicycle obviously bears some significant meaning for me personally, because it used to belong to my grandmother. It's died of cancer some 10 years ago or so. And this is my legacy of her. And what a gorgeous legacy it is. I mean, look at it, it's spectacular to behold. Anyway, let's focus on the task at hand. This is a rubbish tool for the job. It's just useless. So, bigger one it is. No, but I cannot. Utter rubbish. No. Yes, there we go. It's just a little bit stuck. I suppose it has been too long in a shed. I should lubricate them. If this doesn't work, then I don't know what will. There's the jolt, so loosen these once again. No, come on, don't fail me now. Don't stop me now. No, this is just utter rubbish. Yeah, but they're there now. So tighten those and loosen these. No, other way around. Tighty, lefty, loosey. So I suppose I have to look it from the people's point of view. I'm gonna guess this way. Now we are talking, now it's turning at least. It wasn't a large area, so I suppose I have to keep an eye out so I don't actually do more damage than good. It would be preposterous. I'm actually doing it right now. So other way around. These ones this way and the other ones the opposite direction. No, don't just do that. These are very fragile things, these. Some form of aluminum, I suppose. You can of course buy a completely new rim, but since it is much more economical and ecological to mend old ones, this mending do for me. And you might wanna keep your eye out for this direction also, because it can quite easily, if you tighten too much both sides, it will start to pull the rim down. But it's not an easy job. You have to be very careful not to tighten too much, and yet brave enough to tighten enough so you can see the difference. And of course, in this you have to give it some time in between the judgment, because it doesn't happen instantaneously, the change. Hold on a minute. There's a dent here, so it has been damaged quite badly. Let's see if the pins are in order. I don't know if the pin is a correct term for this, but listen to those birds. It's just such a gorgeous spring morning. Humans are in their decadent nests. Air traffic is nearly ceased to exist, and just clean, fresh air and warmth and bird and life. Truly hope this pandemic thing never goes away. Serves us humans right. No, But back to the matter at hand. It stopped scraping now. Can you hear? So it's a little bit better. Perhaps you should be trained professional to do this properly, but who needs education when you have got these wonderful YouTube videos, no? What do you say? Still have a jolt in it. It's getting there. No, it's not getting there. I'm talking about it just as bad as it was. It's nerve-wracking, that noise, because there's tension obviously into these pins, and when you are tightening or loosening, it just makes that bang. Perhaps it's getting a little bit better. It's right in front of that dent, so it's easily marked. Might wanna, obviously, if you do this on a perfectly conditioned rim, which is just being warped by some reason, you might wanna mark the spot with a nail polish or paint or duct tape or whatever you have in your disposal at the moment. You can obviously even change these pins if, yes, that way is loosen it. Let's just tighten it up a little bit more. Let's not leave any pin so loose. Yes, it's gonna be fantastic. Tighten the ones in which direction you want it to turn and loosen the other ones. So it's quite simple job. Should be at least. But I truly think that this rim has suffered so significant amount of damage that it is impossible to get it dead straight. And it is getting there, bit by bit. Let's just check on each turn that whether you have got tension on your pin or not. If it's coming all the way loose, then you probably loosen it up too much. Yes, a little bit more. This is obviously the point in your games where the branch breaks. But you do wanna check all the pins a little bit further than the actual jolt is, because there might be some loose pins there or what have you. But now let's take a look at this chain malaki. We can use the same watchimajigger here. If again, this is too tight. In here, yes. Now loosen this up, because this is the brakes. It prevents the middle bit from turning when you push the brakes. There is some issues with this bike already. I think my grandmother bought it when it was shiny and new in 70s or 80s, perhaps something like that. She hasn't driven it very far. But anyways, I think all the parts in it are original, so that is also a very good reason to mend it, so it stays in its original state. It is so badly worn, that bolt, so I'm gonna, hang on a minute, I'm gonna get me a proper thingy for it. Yes, since I've been known to have a trouble finding a correct size wrench, I took a lot of them. 9? No. I suppose it is 11, 12 perhaps even. No, 11 it is. No, it's 10. But anyways, it's good to have more than you need, so you have a proper wrenches then for these bad boys here. But anyway, yes, this is proper. It is 10. Now it opens. Problem with that sort of adjustable wrench is that it always tends to spoil the nuts. Well, yes, there we go. And the other side as well. Goes the other direction. There we go. Gorgeous. Yes, there's just enough. No, there isn't enough, but get it a little bit tighter. So it takes on that side now, so I have to turn it a little bit like that. Make sure that it is straight. And then you just tighten it up. I'm pretty pleased with myself. Just tighten these up and then some lubrication on the chain. It's a little bit, well, a little bit tighter, but not that much difference. But there's not much you can do because there's just no space to tighten them anymore. So next time I'm gonna take the chain off. I'm gonna take a piece of it out and then I can tighten it properly. But that will not be this summer. Yes, and then the tenor. Perhaps that's as good as it gets. Now let's lubricate the chain, shall we? I'm gonna use old disused engine oil because I live on a sort of like gravel roads. On a tarmac surface you might want to use something a bit more sticky. There we go. I should wash the chain perhaps. What do you think? Not today. Now it's ready for another adventure. All it requires is some love and some open road, and it shall have. Thank you for watching.